Dover, Delaware, home to one of the most unpredictable challenges on the early schedule every year for the Integrity Racing League, and it's fitting that once again we head to the Monster Mile for our fifth race of the 2025 campaign. Welcome back to coverage live on FTN Broadcasting of the Integrity Racing League. Tonight, we go back at it again in Dover. This is the Dover Motor Speedway, and it is less than 5 minutes away from our qualifying coming to a close and our race day with 150 miles in store here in Delaware. Welcome back live on FTN Broadcasting. I'll be your host for tonight's event. I'm David Kreutz, commentating and producing. We're looking forward to what will be another thriller in the early going of this campaign. Ethan Lane now coming off the heels of another victory, dominant. Of course he was in Phoenix, and at another 1 mile length circuit, he might have a chance to go for 3 consecutive. Qualifying is on the way, and currently at the top of the board is Nate Campbell. 0.05 of a second back is Nick Tarbug as we take a look downstairs. 2 minutes left in qualifying. Robert Richardson looking to get one of those final times in. He's going to slide across the line. His lap will not be validated. 39 set to race with us today. So far, 26 drivers have taken a time, going back to David Davis. Here is Ethan Lane. Lane getting on the move for what will be his one and only qualifying lap. And the 84 right now, coming off the back of a dominant win in Phoenix. Of course, all eyes on him to try to replicate and do it again here in Delaware. That time by 22.3 is far and away the pole position time. It is Ethan Lane at the top of the board and firmly with over a 10.5 as the advantage with a minute left in the session. Next up now is Kevin Matz. Matz sliding out of 4 is going to come to the line, turning through. Looks like his lap time will not be validated, and he's going to be sitting at the bottom of the lineup as a result. Tom Wetmore in the 51 is on the way. Blake Cannon just spun out, and it looks like he will have 30 seconds, but not enough time to put a lap. Trevor Trago, one of the drivers who have not gotten a time in. Same goes for Brad Patton, Blake Cannon, Ryan Potter, and all those who have not gotten a lap in do not have enough time to do so any longer. Lane put the last lap in, and it looks like it will be 31 drivers with a time. The rest will automatically file to the back of the field. Wetmore still taking laps, but by far Ethan Lane the dominant man in this final session, and he will end up taking the pole position. Lane back-to-back poles, not to mention looking for back-to-back wins, and a strong start for the man who looks to be dominant this season. Already eyes on a hat trick in the first 5 races of this campaign. Lane lines up first. Nate Campbell, the sophomore slugger, is in second. Nick Tarbug goes P3, and Cody Smith, after a great run last week, goes P4. Drivers back on the racetrack for 5 minutes until we go green. Let's talk a little bit more about the conditions of this race. 150 laps on the table, 150 miles to be exact, and conditions are definitely in the driver's favor. Ambient temperature of 65 degrees Fahrenheit, but a wind of 31 miles an hour south. I don't know how much that's going to affect these drivers today. It's a southbound wind, so taking a look at where the wind is headed for these guys, might be a little bit of a push off of turn 4 in the opposite direction, might help them down the back straightaway. That's something to keep in mind. Drivers come northbound as they come toward the front straight. And so, with that being said, going to be a little bit trickier out of 4, perhaps, as we've seen already in qualifying. Track temperature is 72 degrees, one of the coldest temperatures we've seen in the early months, and so tires can be pushed big time. Number 2 is Sam Nieto is going to get by on the 28 of Ryan Bean. Bean gets slammed up and rockets to the outside. Here's a look down low. Trevor Trago among those who are waiting now to get on the track. A lot of drivers taking practice. Next opportunity for the field is, of course, the big show. 150 laps, 150 miles of racing coming our way live on FTN Broadcasting. Until we get to that point, however, we got to talk about what's ahead, and that is your qualifying lineup. Let's take a look upstairs and take a look at your full field, one of the biggest of the season, and it is an exciting pack to follow. First and foremost, at the top of the board is the man who takes the pole. It's Ethan Lane. Lane grabs himself another pole position, looking for back-to-back wins. He lines up P1 and alongside Nate Campbell, who goes P2. Nick Tarbuck is in third place, the number 4. Tarbuck looking for another top 5 run. And Cody Smith, a Phoenix ace, is looking to find success again as a top 5 performer last week in Phoenix. He starts 4th with Jacob Fife back in the mix. He's in P5. Don Stevenson wrapping up the top 6 in qualifying. Zach Trentino will go 7th, and Nicholas Ward goes 8th. Ryan Bean at 9th. Nolan Potter in 10th. Nicholas Ward off the heels of 2 consecutive top 2 finishes, both of which coming in the 2nd spot. 11th is John DeBarro. 12th is Sam Nieto, with 13th place then being Aaron Eads and Brett McLennan going 14th. Joe Yakes lines up just behind. Joe is 15th. Eric McFarland is 16th, and Aaron Kovnat is in 17th with Tom Wetmore 18th place. To wrap up the top 20, you'll have Eli Cars and Bobby Keith. Let's go down the line through the second half. Josh Gallagher, Austin Cardules, Andrew Hamilton, Matt Jonas, Brock Potter for your top 25. It's Troy Green, Sean Kalist, Matthew Cornell, Kevin Matson, David Davis to end the top 30, as you'll have for your top 35 the next following drivers: Richard Smith, Trevor Trago, Blake Cannon, Brad Patton, and Ryan Potter. Richard Smith, the final driver to take the time in 31st. Last drivers on the field: Robert Richardson, Randy Fiash, Kent Wetherell, and Thomas Lind. To make up your 39 driver field. That's the way it ends. Thomas Lind at the back of this pack, and it is a full house with 39 drivers and a field ready to get back to business. Lynn might be at the back of it, but all at the head is Ethan Lane, and he'll be alongside a title contender for sure, Nate Campbell, as practice comes to a close in just a few moments. Patton, one of the fastest in this session, 2-time winner last season, is getting his laps in. 10 seconds on the clock. He'll slide out, and time is just about up. Warm-ups have come to a close. Race day has only just gotten started, and FTN fans, we got just about 150 miles ahead of us here, and that is a number that is going to be rather deceiving. It might sound like a lot. These laps are fast. It's the fastest 1-mile track we have on the schedule. Part of what makes Dover Motor Speedway Monster Mile is the fact that it is significantly faster than even Phoenix. A mile racing circuit like Phoenix, well, it takes about 27 seconds to go through a lap. Qualifying times here, as you saw, are in the 22-second bracket. Being otherworldly slow would be 25 seconds. A slow lap at Dover is way quicker than a very fast lap at Phoenix. This race could be done in a flash if we stay green, although keep in mind, last week we did go to the overtimes. Double file field all the way down. Lane and Campbell, the leading men in one of our biggest fields of the season. We've been seeing strong crowds of more than 35 throughout the campaign. Lane again with the honors of leading them off. Ethan Lane was able to win in a dominate performance last week. I mean, he led more than 140 laps of a 152-lap race, so there wasn't much left for him not to lead. I don't think there's much room for improvement, but the field is looking for something. Nick Tarbuck, one of the strongest, consistent drivers in this field, top fives galore, but he has not yet been able to crack a victory against Lane. Nicholas Ward has been the bridesmaid 2 consecutive nights in a row. He's upstairs in the Universal Studios 97. Perhaps for him, today is the day he breaks through and gets back to victory lane. He was able to do it once last year, and it was a huge moment for the 97 team. We have no fuel cap tonight, which means that this could be a one-stop race. Keep in mind, lap 75, the halfway point, as it was last week in Avondale, Arizona. Very similar conditions, but in a way, oh so different. Phoenix can take it easy on a driver. Monster, of course, Miles the Monster, takes it easy on no one and holds no prisoners. Welcome back to the Dover Downs 150. This is Dover, Delaware, and we are underway at the Monster Mile. Lane with the lead. He's got 38, chasing him right on his tail. It'll be Ethan Lane getting the jump with Nate Campbell second place. The 1-2 combination stays exactly the same. Most of the field identical all the way down. You look back to the 10th position. It's already a fight. Nolan Potter and John Zabaro. But for the most part, things stay about as they were. No big movers on lap 1. Eyes closely fixed maybe on a driver like Eric McFarland. Aaron Eads now dropping 2, but the upper mid-pack is where the only fight is. Ethan Lane, I don't know if he's accustomed to fighting for a position so far this season, as again he leads by nearly 4/10. Don Stevenson, the number 47, 6th to 6th. He finds himself right now just behind Jacob Fife. Jacob Fife, the last man of the top 5. Great to have Jacob Fife on the racetrack. Back again tonight. He was with us last week, hasn't missed any seat time. However, wanted to make a quick note. Great to have him back because immediately after the Phoenix race we saw last week, had a medical complication, and we weren't aware of the extent to which it was severe. Of course, we weren't given the details, but we are grateful to know Jacob is not only stable, but back with us, and he looks to be back with some force, kicking hard with one of his best qualifying runs. So Jacob, great that you're back, great to have you, and not only that, he's given us a good show now off the back end on Cody Smith. Cody Smith, 4th here. Again, a Phoenix ace, a driver who comes alive at the 1-mile racetracks. It is single file all the way down. Let's take a look back and see some battles. Here's a rookie to watch, Aaron Kovnat. He's alongside another driver who's had some better runs over the course of the past few weeks, Aaron Eads. Aaron was with us through most of the 2025 season, but has seen the upper half of the pack more and more often over the first 5 weeks this season. Aaron qualified in 13th and is now running P15. Kovnat at the middle of the field, looking for that 15th spot. Kovnat in the FTN Broadcasting 91, Aaron Eads in the Silver Zero. Sponsored by Premier, it appears. Take a look on board with Aaron and see what it's like right now at the heart of the pack. He right now chases not only Kovnat, but Eric McFarland. Almost a nudge there on the 91, and take a look ahead. We've got a side-by-side battle. It's Nicholas Ward, and right alongside him, it is Zach Schrentenall. Zach has himself on the high side, Nicholas Ward down low. These two drivers exactly where they qualified, but that could change. It'll be a 3-horse race if Ryan Bean pokes his head in. He wasn't able to, just couldn't get the drive. He'll fall back once again, single file all the way down from lane on back. Watch now as again, Nicholas Ward goes low. Ward was not the second fastest driver last week. I don't say that to discredit him, but a little bit of the opposite, as a matter of fact. Nicholas Ward started last week with a top 10 pace. He had top 10 qualifying performance, and he was around the upper part of the circuit for most of the night. But the interesting part of it all was he only really came alive in the final 25 laps where there was a green-white checkered. Got away from trouble, finished second for the second consecutive week in a row. It's a little redundant to say second consecutive week, but for Ward, it's a lot of points that are being built up even if he's not a winner. Right now, Nicholas is the championship leader. He took that from Nick Tarbuck, and while Tarbuck had a strong first half going, he had himself not the best second half, to put it bluntly. Ward was able to capitalize, and now the 97, for the first time in the modern era, is leading the championship. Bad news for him. Maybe bad news for everyone. Ethan Lane is 17 points behind him, and Lane is always slow to start these seasons. You might not think that. He's the defending champion, and he's the winningest driver over the past 3 calendar years. What's interesting is, from then on out, Lane has been faster this year than both previous in terms of getting to the head of the championship. It took him about 10 races in both 2024 and 25. If he is to win tonight, or if he is to outfinish Nicholas Ward by a more than 5 driver margin, then he will take the championship in only 5 races. For Lane, that is a first. And this is the first time that Nicholas Ward is the championship leader. So we might see the title change hands between 3 different drivers in 3 weeks. Nick Tarbuck falling down 2 spots in the title race after his performance last week. Ethan Lane moving up 8. The gap is 26 between your top 6 drivers. Don Stevenson, the last of which, Don having a good night right now, and it would put him above Brent McClendon and John DeBarro if he were to stay here. DeBarro, if anyone owns that 10th place, I think it is John DeBarro in this series. He's in 4th in the points, and it makes sense. 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s. He has himself 11 stage points as well. He is one of the highest up in that category. He's done a great job with it. The only one higher right now is Nicholas Ward with 18 and Ethan Lane with 14. So DeBarro is one of the greatest with our strategy so far this season, but I do think he might simmer down a little lower right now, especially if he gets more comfortable in the bottom half of the top 10. Red hot start for him, not to discredit, but again, look for those trends. Here's Tom Wetmore, 18th to 15th. And while so far Blake Cannon and the Roadhouse guys have gotten back up to speed, Tom Wetmore, a little bit of a botched start to the season ever since he missed the opener at Daytona. Qualified on the pole position, didn't race, and he has had to make up a massive deficit from that point. Wetmore has been on the up and up since then, of course. He now finds himself 34th in points, but he is a long way out from the chase bracket. And he's going to have to keep on digging for more points tonight and more position if he wants to make it stick. He's behind Aaron Kovnat, who's behind Brant McClendon, who's now side by side with Sam Nieto. Sam, working the bottom, has the 91 of Kovnat, watching and waiting for an opportunity to get in there. Cody Smith trailing Jacob Fife. Stevenson remains 4th. We might now have ourselves a battle between the 2nd and 3rd places. Take a ride on board now with Nick Tarbuck for a lap and see what it's like at the head of the field. Tarbuck looking to drive for 2nd. We'll take a lap on board. Take a look and listen. Nick Tarbuck prioritizing the early entry to the lower apex. He is like that for quite a while now over the course of this race that we've been watching him. Nate Campbell diving especially through 1 and 2 later into the corner, sees Richard Smith down low. Smith down to pit road. He will be one of the first tonight to go there. He runs currently in the 36th position, and he will be going for some additional service early on. Field is still good to go. We are clean and green, but Richard Smith taking some service here. Just an update on him. Watching back at the head of the field, Campbell's getting pressure, and I think it comes down to their racing strategies. Campbell has been pushing a little bit wider, pushing a little bit harder, but at the same time, Tarbuck is getting to the inner groove, and even if you don't go in there aggressively, having the inner groove is a big thing. You saw it right there. Taking it low, taking it slow, it still gets you up and ahead. Nick Tarbuck with a calm and collected pass for second. Tarbuck, if we talk about the modern era of integrity racing, 2022, he was with us, of course, for 2023. Had a great season in 22, but we kicked off broadcasting in 2023. He was able to win very early in the season in 23 to begin his run in the Integrity Ignite Series. And that was the Monday night tour. He's one of the drivers who had experience at this track both on Mondays and Tuesday nights. Talk about the early days of the modern Integrity era. You have Cody Smith. Smith, first ever winner in the Integrity Octane Series in 2023. Now, this Tuesday night tour is just the Integrity Racing League, but it's basically the direct successor to last year's Octane Series. The field consolidating into one big series, which allows for not only streamlined racing, but perhaps some better prizes for these guys in the field. The Integrity Racing League gives away thousands of dollars worth in prizes thanks to partners like Next Level Racing, and as you see him there on the number 18 car, there's no better place to go for your sim racing equipment needs than nextlevelracing.com. They have been with us here not only at Integrity but on FTN since 2023, providing week-by-week support for coverage on this channel and of course the Monday and Tuesday nights events held by Integrity. No better partner, and Cody Smith now looking to prove he's got the speed for the podium. He'll take it low. Campbell again with his weakness tonight going high. It's going to help out big for Cody. He'll get there. Cody Smith, man on a mission. He gets up to third, brings Fife to fourth. Nate Campbell now going to have to watch back in P5. Conditions very favorable to drivers tonight. We spoke about that earlier. The weather is amazing. Well, let's talk about it like right now. It's a track temp of 87 degrees Fahrenheit. So that has warmed up about 10 degrees since practice. Makes sense. Got a little bit more sunshine. Got a little bit more brightness there, which means that the tires are going to be putting down a little bit more rubber. That's fine. 87 degrees is still very manageable, and the ambient temperature has not changed. Winds are still southbound at 30 miles an hour. Rather extreme, but still, these drivers seem to have no problem with it. They are bulleting around this racetrack at speeds no lower than 150 miles an hour. Side by side, DeBarro for a pass on Zach Schrintenel. That's for ninth. Nolan Potter now looking to make it back to back. Looks like tonight might be the first night we have all three of the Potters racing. Ryan is, of course, the one we know, the 99 from Swamp Motorsports, running in 31st. Brock Potter is in 24th. His brother, Nolan Potter, up here in 10th. Nolan and Brock are not at all related to Ryan Potter. Keep that in mind, but still three Potters. About a fifth of the way through. Coming toward the quarterway marker. Lap 75 will be a critical period when it comes to strategy. I mean, it looks clear as day right now that Ethan Lane is the fast man. He leads by a firm 2.5 plus over Nick Tarbuck. 35 in out of 150. Take a ride on board, perhaps with Ethan Lane. Just for a brief moment, take a look at how clean that track is behind him. This is the benefit of track position in qualifying. It's also the benefit of being really fast. There's the disadvantage of being really fast. Who do you catch up to first? You catch up to the back of the field. Next up on the menu would be Troy Green. And Green, having some front end damage, has managed it all night long. He's got himself a crumpled in front. Still keeping pace with Kent Weatherill here, the 26th place qualifier, losing 9 spots so far on the day, but it looks like mostly the fault of that damage. And Lane is here and looking to pounce at a moment's notice. Ethan has such an advantage coming into the lap traffic when it comes to time and distance that, honestly, I don't think he should concern himself at all about what's going on behind. There's no way they're going to catch him up, at least just yet. Jacob Fife sliding to the inside right now on the number 88. Fast pass on Matthew Cornell. Don Stevenson, Nate Campbell, Nicholas Ward, Ryan Bean, all wrapping up the top 10. Some of the biggest movers of the night include, but are not limited to, Tom Wetmore. He's up 5 places, 18th to 13th. Brad Patton is doing Brad Patton things. How could we forget? Sometimes, and he didn't do it as much last year, especially toward the end of it, but Brad Patton has a habit of qualifying or not qualifying intentionally to start at the back of the field. When he does this, he looks to win. He's now up to 18th place, and while he seems to be stalled out for the time being, he has made it up just about half the field without a qualifying position. While other drivers are struggling to maintain their place, he's going very, very far, as is Blake Cannon. Cannon has gone from 33rd up to 16th. Cannon holding his own in the battle to get up to Zach Shrinton and Aaron Cobnott. Just got by Zach that time by. 2.4 second gap between first and second as Tom Wetmore puts the pressure down on Sam Nieto. Not a big surprise. Okay, this is not a big surprise, but we go way back when we talk about this. Tom Wetmore, in the first ever Integrity Ignite Series race at Dover, was able to come through and surprise the field with an awful lot of speed. He was up there in the fight. It was Nick Cohan and him going toe-to-toe. That was actually Wetmore's first Ignite Series race of the season. It came in about June or July of 2023. It was halfway into the tour, and Wetmore showed up, and he had pace. It was the Xfinity car, not the Next-Gen, but it looks like the principles of the race car are still very much the same. He is up 6 now, and while it isn't the same Herculean feat as a Blake Cannon, he has maintained and he has gained, and he's been going up against some of the best on the racetrack. Not quite sure what exactly is going to happen, though, when you think about the number 51 here and you think about what's going to happen with strategy. I mean, he's made his way somewhat further up the lineup, but now do you see a plateau? Do you fight harder, or do you have the equipment to do it? A part of me thinks that Tom Wetmore's been laying off to gain 6 places in 45 laps. Contact between Cobnott and Blake Cannon. Blake looking a little bit faster. I think he's got the edge. As they come around turn 4, a little bit of nudging again. Those two drivers door to door for the second time. They're now rubbing each other up the top of the track. Side by side, but it is no dice. As Aaron Cobnott cannot hang on, Blake Cannon takes hold. 47 laps in out of 150. Ethan Lane splits it 3 on the lappers of Trevor Trago and Matt Jonas. Great move there by Ethan Lane. Meanwhile, second place Cody Smith is mired further back. Nick Tarbuck dropping with some lap traffic trouble. And it's going to be Jacob Fife who moves through. Pushing in on his own will. Fife gets third. Cody Smith now second, and the lappers have helped them shuffle. Really only helped Ethan Lane. He'll come up on Ryan Potter. So Lane having himself now a 2.2 second lead. A little bit shorter than the last time we had him under the microscope. But I think it's even stronger now just thanks to the cars and the real estate he has. A lot more drivers that you have to actively pass is not easy. So, luckily for Lane, he's been able to get himself through drivers faster on account of being there earlier, and that edge is everything. 50 laps in out of 150 with 100 laps to go. Ethan Lane now working to the high side of Josh Gallagher. He'll move by Nick Tarbuck and Jacob Fife. Those guys, third and fourth respectively, still watching and waiting for an opportunity. Nate Campbell, Don Stevenson, Nolan Potter, Ryan Bean, all of which now working through the single digits. Take a ride on board here with John Zabarro and see what's going on as he looks on Ryan Bean. Bean is holding it on the high side, but this is going to be tricky. 3 wide with lappers and leaders. Troy Green, Brock Potter, Matthew Cornell. Bean gets the edge of the high side, I think. Oh, but he can't use it. Wow, this is the game of rush hour traffic. Who's going to come out the winner? 3 wide again. Green going to fall back. Bean gets the edge. John Zabarro, 11th up to 10th. And right now, he's got pressure from, wow, Blake Cannon is now up 22. Where did he come from? I think that's the phrase of the day you got to attach to Blake Cannon. Tom Wetmore is going to dive to the inside on Troy Green. He'll make it again. Tom Wetmore up 5 places now. 18th to 13th, looking to make it 18th to 12th if he can just get by Brant McClendon again. Lap traffic is really shuffling these guys around. 56 laps in out of 150. We have less than 20 laps to go until, of course, we hit the halfway point. 50-50 is looking to be the number to watch in terms of strategy. We get to the halfway point, the pit window will be wide open, and drivers can go the full distance, and actually, they can take it a little bit further past halfway if they choose to. That might be the way things play out, might not be the way, but judging by what we've seen so far, going more than 80 miles is not entirely unfeasible. Ethan Lane right now, of course, with no concern. Cody Smith in the Next Level Racing Chevrolet riding in second. Tell you this much, we head toward our pit stop breaks very soon. Drivers already coming in. And before the leaders do, we're going to give you a brief message from our friends at nextlevelracing.com. The best place to go for sim racing equipment since 2009. Next Level Racing is unmatched in quality and service. We'll return right after this message with uninterrupted coverage of the Integrity Racing League. Thank you for watching live on FTN Broadcasting. We'll be right back after this. Lane in first, 60 laps in out of 150. Pit stop cycles right around the corner.
You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, to build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal.
64 laps in out of 150 when Lane and company cross the line next time by. Welcome back to coverage on the Integrity Racing League's 5th race of the season. Now, I'll tell you this much, it has been intense. Long green flag racing combined with the element of lap traffic means that what you're seeing right now could change at a moment's notice in many more ways than one. Lane is the man of the hour again, and that's not too much a surprise, but he has really turned on the Jets early this season. Eyes on his 3rd consecutive win. Looking further down the line, John DeBarro in the 10th position. Brian Bean in 11th. Matt Jonas is on the 2nd groove here. Lappers are being sent up high at a rapid rate, all fighting against one another. Brad Patton looking to make it 14th and up 20 on the night with this pass. Brian Bean now trying to defend Tom Wetmore and keep him at bay for his 7th gain of the night. Sam Nieto trailing in this battle. He might just try to make it 3 wide, but Wetmore gets a good enough run to break out. Nieto on Bean for 12th. .66 laps in. Take a look at Blake Cannon, who has made the biggest gains of the night. Cannon, 33rd up to 6th. Is now eyeing a top 5 run through the first half, even though he ended up, of course, in the back of the field, all the way in the back, and he's gotten no breaks and no additional assistance to get him up here. Roadhouse Racing's newest driver from 2025 has proven to be a great choice to work with. He has the speed and again is looking to really put the power down to finish the night off with success. Nicholas War in the 97, 8th up to 5th. He's got the house rolling well in the Universal Studios 97. Looking to maintain top 3 in the points, and very likely he will remain 2nd in the standings. As they run right now, it would be Lane, then Ward, and then Nick Tarbuck. 1, 2, 3. Down the lineup they go. Three wide now, and a slice from Cannon. Risky move on Andrew Hamilton and Nicholas Ward. I can't believe that one played out as well as it did, and yet it did. Blake Cannon to 5th. That move was everything but devastating, and luckily, it was just everything but. I mean, making a move like that for a top 5 position, you got to wonder, is it worth it to do it so high up on the lineup? Well, for Cannon, looks like it was. It's going to get him the spot he wants. John DeBarro now making a pass on a struggling Don Stevenson, who limps up to the high side, gets back on the way. Don Stevenson getting the pressure from Tom Wetmore. This will move Wetmore firmly into 11th. Top 10 now guarded by Sam Nieto. Down to the inside goes Brad Patton. These two drivers, I guess, are going to fight for the keys to 11th and perhaps the keys to the top 10. Don Stevenson really dropping back over the course of the last few laps. That time by significantly slower, and you got to wonder what's going on for the number 47. Taking a look lap by lap for some of these drivers, and we keep a closer eye on Don Stevenson in particular. Definitely slower. Last 5 laps have been slower than 24.5 seconds. Mind you, the previous 10 laps before, he was in the 23.7 bracket. He has dropped off nearly a full second since that point. So clearly, something very wrong for Don Stevenson in terms of his pace. Not something he wants to, of course, deal with for the whole night. As you can see now, drivers entering and exiting pit road en masse. Down to the inside is Aaron Eads. Here comes Troy Green. And Don Stevenson deciding he's had enough. And at the halfway marker, he comes in 50-50. That's the first of the magic numbers. The pit window is now wide open for your leading drivers. About exactly what we expected. And with 75 laps to go, Lane and company have a chance to go in. Some of the first to use that chance, well, Stevenson involved, Cody Smith now. You'll see Ryan Bean, Jacob Fife, Nicholas Ward, Nate Campbell, all of which as Sam Nieto spins. Nieto is around. Call on the field is... We're still green. What is going to happen here? It looks like this is nail biting. He is on the surface. I think he's trying to get up. What is going to be the call? As we're close up on Sam Nieto, he's going to back off. He's got no choice but to back off. We are still green. Oh, caught on the apron. Yellow flags out for Sam Nieto. Nieto gets the yellow, and at the halfway point, we are under caution. Nieto slid and just got caught in the middle of that transition. Nick Tarbuck at the same time spun on pit road. Yeah, but I think the yellow came out for this. He was on the racing surface, and whether or not he could have gotten it out of there, probably out of the question after a lap or so. Nieto is 2 down, and the yellow gives a huge advantage to Ethan Lane, Blake Cannon, Nolan Potter, Tom Wetmore, Eric McFarland, Aaron Kovnat. These 6 are basically guaranteed a lead lap finish. Everyone else is caught 1 down. This is unbelievable. Down to the inside goes Lane. Well, let's see what happens now as pit stops are due and the leaders will take them. But of course, it's your leading 6 who have to get them. Leader Lane comes to his stall. David Davis gets a lap back and goes up into the top 7 on the lead lap. Everyone else killed in terms of their strategy. Lane gets back on the way, as does the rest of the group that just went down to pit road. Caution is out. 70 laps remaining. And it will be Ethan Lane bringing it home here, of course, is the goal. And he just got a huge kick in the right direction. We'll cycle everyone out and figure out who goes where. Looks like now the lead lap group is down to 5. Aaron Kovnat just fell off of it. According to timing and scoring, that's due to huge cycles between leaders and lappers. .70 laps to go. We will restart with 68. Ethan Lane over Blake Cannon is the 1-2 with 7 on the lead lap. Going back to David Davis. This is unbelievable. Seen it before. And it's happening again. It's 2 races. You got the top 7, and you have everyone else. Cannon, Wetmore, Potter, Kovnat, Davis, and looks like Eric McFarland is on the lead lap, but he's down and in. Those 6 made the biggest gamble of their season. At this point, that's going to guarantee them big points. By all means, what's going to happen here for Lane and company? They're running their own race. The battle is to be the best of the rest. Trevor Trago currently is that man in 8th. A ridiculous proposition. Be 8th and 1 lap down under caution, but that's what most of the field is going to deal with now. More than 30 are off the lead lap. The field goes green, this time by making it 67 laps remaining. Back to business. As things continue to get sorted, a slight extension. It's now 2 laps to green again. A wave around that time by for Sam Nieto. I think part of this is going to be sorting out what happened to him previously. And that was, of course, the caution. Yellow flag still out here. Waiting a little while longer to go green. Double file all the way through. Ethan Lane, Blake Cannon, Tom Wetmore, Nolan Potter, Aaron Kovnat, the top 5. The field is set to work things out again. And now you can see everyone is on the inside line. Everyone's 1 lap down. It'll be a fight for 8th, and it'll be Ethan Lane fighting to keep 1st. Here we go again. Double file for 4 rows, all of 4 rows, and the green flag is out as Ethan Lane leading the 6 on the lead lap, and everyone, oh my goodness, Kevin Matt slamming the wall down to the inside. Is it trouble already? Yes, it is. What did we miss? All right, take 2. Now, wondering what exactly could have caused that, as clearly the yellow flag was out even before. Oh, wow. Kent Wetherell was around, and here's why. So Kent was watching as Zach Schrintenol lost it, tried to get out of the way. His reaction was delayed enough that the number 14 of Brock Potter making contact. There's the 51 of Wetmore, so Wetmore spun. That's what it was. Wetmore, one of the guys who played the gamble proper, went around. What happened to him? It was the second row. It was literally everyone behind Lane. Wetmore gets loose. Play it again, and you'll see there, contact upstairs, and he goes around. Tom's going to head down to pit road this time by. And watch it this time as we play it back from a closer angle. Wetmore, who was in 3rd, goes upstairs, collects Potter. Kovnat gets away. Trago gets hit. Ryan Potter gets away. And Kent Weatherill with a huge slam. The 14 of Potter as well. Nasty hits. And the yellow is immediately back out. An end of line penalty to Tom Wetmore for that caution. 64 laps to go. This race has come to a standstill after a red-hot first green flag run. .64 laps to go. Blake Cannon, Aaron Kovnat. Right behind Ethan Lane now. Kovnat making his move up to the podium for the first time this race. Blake Cannon from 33rd now runs P2. Big Nacho 7951 in the chat room. Thank you for stopping by, rooting for our friend Brent McClendon. McClendon right now 18th after going down a pit road here. He still has a lot of room to make up. He was in the fight. The top 10 before these yellows. We'll see if he can get back up there again. Setting it back up for 62 racing laps when we go green. The field will go back in motion, headed by Lane. Blake Cannon still second, but it'll be Aaron Kovnat now as the third man in this lineup. David Davis from 30th to 4th is in the highest spot he's running all season long. Great night for Davis. Now looking to capitalize fully on the chaos. Green flag flies. Ethan Lane all the way gets the jump on everyone in the field. Nobody can keep up. Take a look now. The mid-pack is fine. We stay green. And for the second restart of the day, this time around, we'll be able to pull it clean. Lane leads. Blake Cannon next up. Aaron Kovnat in third. David Davis is in fourth. Kevin Matz 29th to 5th. 7 drivers are on the lead lap, and Tom Wetmore, even with his damage, will hang on to a top 10, really as long as there's not a lot of cautions left. He's almost not competing in that sense. He's in 5th, even with the damage. That's how lopsided the strategy is now. You just stay on that lead lap, and you will be fine. Ethan Lane leads. Cannon second. Aaron Kovnat looking for a first career podium. Just has to hang on 60 laps. A lot easier said than done, but a lot easier to do now than it has been all throughout the night. Really an unprecedented situation. So the battle is really for 8th. Let's try to figure out exactly where it starts with Trevor Trago here. Trago is going to be chasing after the leaders. Ryan Potter, who is in 9th, is second off the lead lap. Then you'll have Nicholas Ward, who is pretty far down that line. It's a mix, because then you have drivers who are 2 laps down, led by Joe Yakes, who's running his own race. 2 lap down guys are from 20th on back. They're fighting each other. The 1 lap down guys are 8th to 19th, also running in their own class. And since these drivers are basically as quick as each other, they really are just racing against small subsets. The overall win is only contested by 6 drivers right now. Everyone else is firmly out of contention. Unfortunately, I would venture to say if you're not in the top 10 right now, that does include 8th, 9th, and 10th if you're not there, I don't think you have a chance to win this race. I mean, 3 more drivers on lead lap would mean 3 cautions. It would be shocking if someone like Brad Patton found a way back on lead lap, given that strategy calls are basically put into place and yellow flags, while common as they've been over the last 20 laps, first 60, first 70, they weren't there at all. The deck is stacked against a lot of guys tonight, especially in these last moments. "55 laps to go. And every driver who's in this battle from 8th on down has 1 less lap to run. This is amazing for Trevor Trago, though. I mean, we got to keep that in mind. Trago is a driver who qualified in 32nd. Really, he struggled. He struggled to begin with. Did not have the speed off the launch, and looks like now, thanks to all the shuffling, he'll be able to get away with a top 10 finish, and it will be his first of the season and a big first for the Wanna-Goons Chevrolet. Matter of fact, if Brad Patton can find a way around 5 drivers on his lap, it might become a double top 10 for the Wanted Goons. Still a possibility of that, as it looks like a double top 5 for Roadhouse is technically possible, but Kevin Matz with the undamaged car will again break out. Blake Cannon has let Aaron Kovnat go by, and it looks like now Kovnat holds the fort as he runs in P2. Ethan Lane still just ahead with a 91. He's now 2nd place and the highest spot he's ever run in this series. For Kalof Deitch Racing, Aaron Kovnat leads a very big pack of drivers, all but Lane right now he is ahead of. And this could be a monumentous day for KDR as they get their first integrity podium. That's the goal. A lot of team games being played. We talked about the Roadhouse story here. 2 top 5 finishes is possible. Trevor Trago now looking to bring some speed to the 2nd Wanted Goons car and a great finish. Nicholas Ward and Jacob Fife might have something to say about that, but we'll guarantee that they do. They're still a little bit too far back to make a comment. Here's Jacob Fife looking for 9th. Caution's out. Yellow flag. We will hold on that on board. What just happened? Wow, big incident. It's going to involve the 5 of Robert Richardson, among others. Yellow flag. Here's the replay. Richardson. Oh, up top. It didn't begin with Richardson, but he had a nasty slide at the end, as did Bobby Keith. It began behind them. Looks like Wetmore saw a slide. Take a look back here and figure out what happened. And it was Joe Yates. Contact with Aaron Eads. Drifts up, splits the middle. And by all means, relative to other drivers in that wreck, he actually got pretty lucky. He went down to the apron and drifted away from it, whereas others got hit. Once again, Robert Richardson with a nasty tap. Take a look on board with the Richardson car. Spun around with some contact. Robert Richardson, now 33rd and 4 laps down, sees the yellow flag. This is big for, among others, whoever comes out 9th off pit road. It's a big run down there. Leading is currently David Davis, according to timing and scoring. Many a driver went down to pit road that time by. And Matt Jonas now getting on his way out. Nolan Potter there. Here's a look. Randy Fiash. Then Kevin Matz, Kent Wetherell, Trevor Trago, Tom Wetmore, Eric McFarland. Big group that went down and in. David Davis. This time by will be scored as your leader. Ethan Lane opting to go a little bit further back. And still, he finds himself in the fight. P2, David Davis scored as the leader that time by, 30th up to first. In his first career laps led, Davis the leading rookie. And I think he's going to relinquish that spot here so long as Lane gets up there. Yes, he will. Aaron Kovnat will be right there with. Have about 45 laps to go when we return green. Double file on the iRacing pace car signals. It is go time when we go green. One lap remaining under caution. Aaron Kovnat gets to the inside. He will follow your official leader, David Davis. But by all accounts, eyes are on Ethan Lane to bring the field really back up to speed. Lane has not yet dropped out of the top two all night long. Blake Cannon and Tom Wetmore are now lined up together. Those guys in the top five. A huge team. And even though Wetmore has some damage, more of it getting cleared off under yellow, he should be able to continue the fight and maybe stay in the top five here. Going to see 11 on the lead lap now. Going back, Nolan Potter, who's at the tail end of the longest line, as David Davis, for the first time this season, leads the way. Here we go again. Green flag is out. Davis gets the jump. And it's going to be Blake Cannon and Ethan Lane following on the outside each other. Aaron Kovnat going up high there to chase him. Tom Wetmore now he's in the fourth position, trying to make that way through. Upstairs for Wetmore. Side by side, Kevin Matz now is in sixth. 45 laps to go as the battle for second now rages on. Again, you got to watch out and see Blake Cannon and Aaron Kovnat. Now, Brant McClendon finds himself the first driver off the lead lap. This is a tricky spot for him because it means he very likely has the pace to go higher, but he is locked up. If you haven't been with us all night long, at about lap number 80, we had a big yellow flag when only 6 drivers were on the lead lap. What that means is that right now, only about 11 drivers can really contend for the win. Most drivers are off the lead lap and are basically incapable of getting back up there without a caution. McClendon now going to defend big on multiple drivers. Brad Patton surging to the inside. It is a hornet's nest, and a whole lot of drivers are looking for one spot. 12th is the lucky dog. Looks like right now Ryan Bean is going to have it, and only to lose it. We'll see what happens now. He has to maintain. Oh, contact upstairs. That was Troy Green. Green is still rolling. We do not go under caution. Take a look at this replay. Green got loose and shook up the track. Luckily, no other contact. That's why there's no caution. Take a look at this mid-pack. Don Stevenson, Randy Fiash, Nate Campbell, John DeBarro, Matt Jonas, Ryan Potter, all right on top of each other. And these guys are locked and loaded, set to battle to the checkered flag. 33rd to 2nd for Blake Cannon. 17th to 3rd for Aaron Kovnat. Both of which eyeing huge finishes tonight, but Kovnat looking for a career best. He'll take it in second, swooping down to the inside and making a big move, the 38. Of course, way further back, keep an eye out for him. But right now, it's the 91 of Kovnat taking it up there. Aaron Kovnat in second. Blake Cannon, the 44, now third. Tom Wetmore running in fourth. Double top 5 for the Roadhouse guys. Looks very possible now. Now, interestingly enough, Wetmore very clearly has damage. But it looks like with what little he got repaired, back on the track and faster than Kevin Matz. Matz is going to have himself a huge night. This will be his best integrity finish in the modern era. And a huge way to capitalize on strategy. Qualified 29th today. And proving again, getting away with strategy is sometimes the most important thing for a good night. Kevin Matz here ahead of Aaron Eads. David Davis is close to 3 seconds behind Trevor Trago. Now trying to take that 6th spot, even though these guys are way back on anyone ahead of them. .36 of Fife. He's in 9th right now. Jacob going to be able to have a comeback race and a top 10 all but sealed up. Only driver on the lead lap off the top 10 is Nolan Potter. The last driver brought into the top 10. And currently, he's running 15 seconds back on the lead bunch. Just doesn't look like he has the time nor the space to get there. Either way, basically guaranteed a solid run, if not a top 10, which is more than what a lot of drivers can say, a lot of which feeling tonight's just not going their way, strategy not helping out. So for Potter, for both Potters, Ryan and Nolan, 10th and 11th, looks like where they'll settle in. Seeing a lot more of Ryan Potter than DJ Stagner this season for the swap, and it looks like Ryan becoming the big leading driver for the swap on the Tuesday night tour. But why not get some early momentum? This is going to be a strong start to the next leg of the campaign. Let's talk a little bit about that schedule, as we have now coming to 30 laps to go. Schedule for the next few races in the Integrity Racing League from races 6 to 10 goes as follows. Next up is going to be Bristol Motor Speedway. After that is going to be Kansas for your 7th race of the season. Rockingham will be 2 weeks after that. Texas, April 21st, race number 9. Race 10, Watkins Glen. It's our second road course on the schedule. One you can't miss. That'll be April 28th. Gonna be a great night of racing action from the Glen. Got a lot of great races lined up. Some short track action. Another track very similar to Dover and Phoenix in that it's unique in a mile in length in Rockingham. Traditional mile and a half in Texas. And then Watkins Glen. It's a variety, and a strong variety at that. Battle for second rages on. Cannon looking to the inside on Aaron Kovnat here. And this will be for P2. Both drivers have had it. Cannon just has it back again now. Blake second, Tom in fourth, and this is a critical night for the Roadhouse Racing guys. Honestly, I don't think we're going to see much better than this for Roadhouse, at least in the early part of the season, when it comes to building back that chemistry and connection for the team. They had a fantastic 1-2 finish at Richmond last season, which propelled Tom Wetmore further in the championship, and that was big. However, since then it's been spotty attendance for one driver or the other, and now they're back on track together. It looks like that connection is clear as day again, which is not a surprise. These guys are some of the best in the business, and when they race together, it's always clear. Leading the fight on the lead lap is Nolan Potter. He's actually the first driver one lap down now. So he's maintaining that lucky dog. Nick Tarbuck finding him in at 12th. And Ryan Bean is P13. Not a lot of change over the course of the last few laps. Things have remained very constant. 34th to 14th is Brad Patton. "23 laps to go this time by for Ethan Lane, and next time through, we're going to crank it up. Whiplash Sim Cams brings you the best angles in sim racing, and we are proud to use them each and every week. We are now set to give you the best live and loud looks at what else? Who else but drivers of the Integrity Racing League and the Dover Motor Speedway. Here we go again. Cranking it up, brought to you by our friends at Whiplash Sim Cams with 22 laps to go. It's Ethan Lane and company at Dover, and we are going to crank it up. It's 15 laps remaining now for Ethan Lane. The last moments of this race are, again, much like the first. He's in control. The battle for second is somewhat simmered down. It looks like Blake Cannon has firmly taken the catbird seat. 15 remaining. Kevin Matz right now in 6th. And it looks like he's falling back to Tom Wetmore. Nicholas Ward eyeing a podium. Might be the last fight for the number 97. Way back there, Ryan Potter 21 seconds back. He may be in jeopardy of going a lap down. Looking at Ethan Lane here, yeah, very likely. He has himself about 5 or so seconds at the very most, with the lap traffic helping him, which will leave us with 9 on the lead lap, the last of which is David Davis. Drago drops to 8th. Either way, a top 10 performance for Trevor is big and huge momentum for the Wanted Goons crew. 8th and 12th on the night as they run. It's the number 9 of Brad Patton who has himself in 12th. It looks like caught, of course, by the lap problem, where most drivers are off the lead lap to begin with. It'll be 11 laps to go this time around. Kevin Matz is looking at a career night if he can just finish the job here. And no matter where he finishes at this rate, it's going to be a great night to look back on for the 50 crew. Now, running in the 7th spot, a top 10 still huge. Jacob Fife gets 6th, and 5th place is now Tom Wetmore. Not sure, however, what's going to happen if Tom Wetmore can get back up there to Jacob Pfeiffer. It'll be vice versa. It looks like the 36 now with a clean car is really pulling. That's going to give him a big advantage in the last laps. Maybe even to get up to Nicholas Ward, who was only about a second and a half away. Ward has had clean air the whole time, though. Jacob Fife has really had to fight for it. 9 laps to go. Coming to 8 next time through. 18th to 6th. Watch now as Wetmore is boxed up by Nate Campbell. No competition for that lucky dog spot. Ryan Potter holds it firmly. Nick Tarbuck in 11th, just not close enough to grasp it. So if there is a yellow flag, it'll still be about 11 drivers competing for the win. Ethan Lane, though, has really shown that tonight has not been a competition for the victory as much as it has been letting the laps go by and seeing the 84 do it again. Cannon low on Hamilton. Aaron Kovnat 5 seconds up on Nicholas Ward and 6 laps away from personal history. A first career Integrity Racing League podium. And I would argue maybe had that yellow flag not come out, he probably would have been able to go out there and take a second place finish. Blake Cannon came alive again with that short run. And that restart really helped reset him and pull it back up to business. Five laps and 5 miles to do it here. No trouble now for Ethan Lane as he will just hang on and hope to go home free. Jacob Fife has broken firmly away from Tom Wetmore. And the story of this race, no doubt about it, it's the fact that that second half caution changed everything. Not much that we expected to see out of anyone besides Ethan Lane. Perhaps you could say that in terms of leading laps, but his competition eviscerated by a lucky strategy call. We'll see if Lane thinks it's luck, but a big change in having only 9 now on the lead lap. Great races for many of those in the top 10, though. Kovnat looking for a first career podium. Ward, 3 straight top 5s. Jacob Fife, big rebound race, back on track with confidence in 5th. Tom Wetmore making it 2 top 10s for the Roadhouse guys. Kevin Matz, career best in the modern era. Trevor Trago, 32nd up to 8th, momentum for his team. David Davis, career best in 9th. White flag this time by, and while strategy cut many great races short for Ethan Lane, it's another week in paradise. 3 consecutive race wins for the number 84. Another dominant performance. Victory in Dover. The Monster Mile seemed quite feeble against Ethan Lane, who goes for a hat trick. 3 wins on the season, back to back to back. Blake Cannon finishing in 2nd. Aaron Kovnat finishing 3rd and taking his first career podium. Biggest mover, Blake Cannon, 33rd to 2nd. Ethan Lane knows Victory Lane about as well as he knows the racetracks of the Integrity Racing League, and he is set to celebrate again. Ethan Lane knows nothing better in the Integrity Racing League than winning. Not a surprise to see him back up in this position again. And he will take that Polish victory lap and a resounding win back home. It's 3 wins for Ethan Lane, your new championship leader, your 3rd championship leader in 3 weeks. He is the man of the hour, and by all accounts, he earned it again. Lane is going to take it down to pit road, and so we will take a moment to stand by live on FTN and bring you continued coverage right after this. Lane makes it to victory lane, and he'll finish his celebrations off. We'll come back with post-race coverage right after this. You're watching the Integrity Racing League on FTN. Coverage, post-race coverage is coming right at you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Three in a row for Ethan Lane. No surprise that after leading 147 laps tonight, and he was in 2nd for the other 3, that he was going to win. He got it done. Blake Cannon finishes 2nd from 33rd on the grid. A remarkable job for him. And Aaron Kovnat does it. He'll get his first career podium. Nicholas Ward finishes 4th with Jacob Fife P5. 6th place, then being Tom Wetmore. 7th on the day goes Kevin Matz with Trevor Trago 8th. 9th in David Davis. Ryan Potter, the last man on the top 10 and the first 1 lap down. Everyone from here on out is at least 1 lap down. It'll be 11th, Nick Tarbuck, and 12th, Brad Patton, with Ryan Bean 13th and Don Stevenson 14th. Nate Campbell, P15. 16th is Cody Smith. 17th is Brant McClendon, and 18th is Sam Nieto. Aaron Eads is 19th with John DeBarro in P20, as 21st place is going to be Bobby Keith. Josh Gallagher, Joe Yakes, Eli Cars, and Matt Jonas wrap up the top 25. It'll be Matthew Cornell, Randy Fiash, Kent Wetherell, and Robert Richardson, with Sean Kalis, the top 30. Last drivers on the day: Nolan Potter, Austin Cardules, Eric McFarland, Andrew Hamilton, and Troy Green for the top 35 as Brock Potter, Zach Schrintenel, Richard Smith, and Thomas Lind wrap it up 39th on the field. 39 drivers, only one winner, and I guess it figures that it's a very familiar face, and we'll speak to your winning man first. Driver of the 84, now with 3 consecutive wins and the championship lead for the first time this season. Title leader and race winner Ethan Lane. Only 3 laps separating you from a fully perfect flag-to-flag win. But I'll tell you this much, you came about as close as it gets, and it doesn't matter anyway. The win is yours.
Yeah, no, I was really disappointed about that. I definitely felt like I probably could have if cautions didn't fall the way they did, but yeah, 3 in a row is great. I truly do love this new package with the 750 horsepower and no diffuser on the rear. It definitely fits my driving style. I feel a little bit more. Um, and yeah, no, it was a fun race for sure. Being able to figure out which lane works best through the run. Um, and just the fun part was fighting through traffic, trying not to lose too much time as well.
Now, this race, the tale of two halves. First, I'll talk about the, obviously, first half of the race. Everyone on the lead lap, a long green flag run. How did it feel for you stretching the gap out over their opening 70 laps?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of managing tires, especially with no rubber on the racetrack. Didn't want to burn them up, even though we did. I still felt like we were we were largely competitive, especially with the gap we had, and with uh, how close we were to pit stops. I was pretty much going to run the car empty, just to have the extra tire at the end if it went green. Um, but yeah, no, it was all managing tires that first run, and obviously clean air helped a lot tonight, just like last week, and it's kind of how it goes now.
And it looked like strategy was going to play out your way anyway when that halfway caution hit. Big one, put everyone almost a lap down. So, I mean, it looks like that really sealed the deal for you. You think there's anything that else could have been done? It looks like that was the big difference maker.
I really don't know. It was a tale of two strategies. I know Blake was really quick the long run. Ward was also quick, and a couple others. But I felt like even if it went green, we had the gap to either maintain or pull out a little bit more. And with how traffic was, if you got stuck for like a lap or two, you lost like a second, second and a half, just from that. So I don't know. It was definitely interesting tonight. But yeah, well, just happy we got the 3 in a row. Didn't expect it to come this early in the season, and especially 4 out of 5 polls. Almost had 5 out of 5, except for Atlanta. We'll try to go 4 in a row next week, and we'll try to go for our 4th or 5th poll next week as well.
Now, unbelievably, the numbers stacking up again and again to help the 84 team. The wins, the pole positions, and now the points lead as you head down to one of our smaller tracks. It'll be the Bristol Motor Speedway. The last great coliseum is next. What are the expectations as we head to our first short track of the campaign?
Try to do something we didn't do last season. Get that 4 win in a row and keep on marching towards that regular season championship, and just showing our dominance to make us a championship favorite early in the season.
So the goal, pushing the needle. Ethan Lane looking to go for 4 consecutive, and with the first 3 out of the way, well, most of that hurdle has been cleared. We'll see what happens next week, but until then, Ethan, if you got anything else to leave us with, it's all yours.
Just everyone of integrity tonight was a great race compared to how last weekend did. Especially the long green flag run tonight. Was not expecting that at all. To you putting on these broadcasts every week, David, it's always fun to go watch like go back and watch, see all the different battles that were happening throughout the field, um, and then just everyone uh, always putting on a great show. Yeah, we're looking to keep making headway this season.
Ethan Lane, the job is done again. It is a three-peat in victories from the Circuit of the Americas to Phoenix and now through Dover. Monster of the Mile, of course, claimed by Lane. Thank you for stopping by, Ethan. Of course, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Ethan Lane getting victory, of course, for three-peat. A huge run for him. Blake Cannon, oh so close. And another strong night for the 44, but we got to talk about where it started before we mention where he finished. For Blake, it started in 33rd place. It was a long, hard-fought battle to get to this position, Blake, but it looks like overall a podium at the end of it.
Yeah, we had a really good run. It's hard to hang my head on 33rd to second here at Dover, but man, I really felt like we had something for Ethan there that last run, and things just didn't work out.
It started with some of those qualifying complications, and of course for you, starting further back than the front end of the field, a huge difficulty that you were able to manage. So what was it like working your way through the pack to get yourself up to, of course, the top five and eventually the podium?
Yeah, in qualifying, I felt like I had a really good lap going, and I got to 3 and 4, and I don't know if the wind played a factor. If I just got a little throttle happy, but the rear end came out from under me, and I just couldn't save it. So I had to pull the backup out for the race, and then honestly, early in the race, I was just, I don't know, 25th or so, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, dang, I'm not really going anywhere. Like this is pretty crazy, and it's going to be a really long race. And then, the more laps we ran, I just kept picking them off one at a time, and then, I found a line in 3 and 4 that worked for me, and drove to fifth before the stage. So I was feeling really, really good. I mean, my tire wear was good, my car was good, and then we had that caution in the middle of the pit cycle, which didn't hurt me at all. It kind of benefited me. So restarted second, and then just was hoping that first run would go green after the caution. Uh, I really didn't want to pit again, but I had to follow Ethan at that point, and then the last run just honestly, some of these guys, I love everybody in this league to death, but some of these guys when they're getting lapped, they just I don't know if they take their head off their shoulders and they lay it on the dashboard, or they're in La La Land. I don't know, but lap cars are some of them do a really good job, but some of these lap cars, man, they race you like hell, or they're gonna aero block you, and just no awareness, and it's just really frustrating. I mean, everybody's trying to run their own race, but they ruin other people's races in the meantime.
By all accounts, though, your race still ending up strong, even with that big caution putting most of the field far behind you. Had to fight to keep second there. You think there's anything else that could have been done, or any strategy that could have gone different?
I maybe not going as soon on the last run with about 30 to go. Maybe if I waited a couple more laps, but I mean, I felt like I got around Aaron pretty quickly, and then it was just me and Ethan, and I was kind of reeling him in, and we were tit for tat, and then like I said, once we caught lap traffic, I don't know if him being the leader, they pull out the way, and then they see second, and they don't give a damn. I don't know, but I just these cars are so air dependent, especially somewhere fast like Dover. Aero is such a big deal. So when one of these lap cars pull up in your line, or pull down across your nose, you just lose all the air and all the downforce, and then you're wearing your tires out, or you're getting in the fence, and then not only do you lose time, but your tires are worn out, or your car is damaged. So maybe if I could have got through lap traffic differently, maybe I guess that's on me. I'll try to do a better job, but that's the only thing that really could have gave me a shot to win this race tonight.
Well, either way, big moves up the field and a podium position at that. Before we get headed toward Bristol, of course, Blake, anything else you'd like to send out to fans?
Yeah, I know I'm complaining a lot, but hats off to Ethan. He is a standard in this league for a reason, so good job to him. He put a good race together. Good job to Aaron on third. Good job to my teammate Tom for rebounding. Thanks to everybody at Integrity, Jacob and Cody and Don, all them guys. They do a hell of a job, and it doesn't go unappreciated. Thank you for the broadcast. Everybody at Roadhouse. The list goes on. I know Nick, he had a good run as well. Nicholas Ward. Shout out to Tom and John, who wasn't here, and Eric for the badass paint scheme. But Thank you for the broadcast. Thanks, Integrity, and hopefully we'll be one spot better at Bristol.
Roadhouse Racing going for 2 top 10s and a strongest run of all, Blake Cannon in second here from Dover. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, David, and glad you're back.
Blake Cannon on the move, and one more driver we got to speak to is the 91 who is going to make a huge run for Call Dice Racing, and that, of course, is the 91 of Aaron Kovnat with a first career podium in only his 5th start. Huge run for the 91 team. Strategy deals a good hand, and fate does as well to bring you here.
Howdy, David. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to get an interview from here, so... Yeah, just awesome run. Thank you, Henry Kaloff, for the great crew chiefing there. Stayed out. We were on 4% on our right front, so if we stayed out like 3 laps longer, we would have blown a tire. But yeah, just it's awesome. So
this race, of course, comes down to strategy. You stayed out long. That was the saving grace. You were 6th at the second half point when that yellow flag happened. What did it take to pull it together to get those extra spots and fight for the podium?
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It is a bit of a Mickey Mouse top 3 there, but the car ahead of us. I don't remember who, but he spun out, and I just tried to. I did avoid it. I got a penalty. Thankfully, got cleared. But yeah, on the start there, afterwards, I tried matching. I'm sorry, I don't remember people's names. The guy ahead of me, the guy in second place. I tried matching his pace because he was really good on the long run all day. And I matched his pace, and he made a slight slip up, and I got by him, and we were rolling really well, and then we got a caution. Someone stayed out, and just couldn't get by that car, and we had to settle for 3rd. But I mean, I absolutely hate this track. This is like one of my least favorite tracks, and we got top 3. I mean, it's not the most deserving, but I will take it.
Well, either way, for you and the team, this is big, and it brings you momentum heading into Bristol. That's going to be critical. Now trying to pull yourself out the points hole, fight for that Rookie of the Year honor. It's a short track, and it's always tricky. What's going to be your edge when you head to the last great coliseum?
Honestly, I mean, you can bring him in if you want. Probably my boy Henry Kaloff. He says he's not, but every time I've raced with him, he's usually pretty good at Bristol. So I raced Bristol recently in the UIS Cup Series. Shout out Chase George. And we were all right. We were like probably a top 6 car. I've always kind of struggled there, especially in this car, because how rigid it is, how sharp it is, how basically if you get a little loose, you kind of can't save it. So, hopefully we'll have momentum. I mean, I don't think we're going to be good next week, but I didn't think we were going to be good this week. This was the one week where I had like no practice, and this is what happened. So, you never know. I mean, I like Bristol a lot more than Dover, so who knows? Maybe we'll be able to finish second or maybe even first, but got to beat Ethan Lane.
Well, all things considered, 2 spots away from Lane, not a bad start. First career podium, a big top 3, Aaron Kovnat. Any final shout-outs you'd like to send?
Oh, get comfy. So I'd like to thank all the Call Dice Racing team partners, Fort Worth Screen Printing, ADT Designs. That's my graphic design company. You can find me on Instagram. Aaron's Design Thingy. Cube Graphics, Impex Auto Glass, Camo Creative, Cool Speed Performance, P&E, Tencent Events, and 213 Simware. And finally, David, I've been waiting, like 6 months to say this, but I can thankfully say we bought a bad fast FTN Chevrolet. So thank you for sponsoring Call Dice Racing. Thank you for sponsoring me, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you more good results.
A big run, by all accounts, for the FTN 91 3rd place tonight, and a huge run for Call Dice Racing as well. Dover controlled well by the 91. Aaron Kovnat, 3rd place. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So you've heard it. Your top 3 drivers going as follows. Aaron Kovnat is a winner. Blake Cannon is your biggest mover. Kovnat with a first career podium. And the biggest winner of the night is Ethan Lane. 3 consecutive wins. It's hard to top that. Ethan has the momentum and all of it as we head toward our next race on the campaign. That'll be next Tuesday night, and it will be the Bristol Motor Speedway. Lane looks for 4 straight wins next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to stay tuned live on FTN to figure out whether or not exactly he can make it so. Until then, I've been your host for tonight's coverage, David Kreutz commentating and producing. Our next broadcast will be Friday night with the David vs. Goliath series, and Saturday will be a doubleheader with Saturday Night Thunder as your feature. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's racing action. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Your support is always greatly appreciated. Congratulations to Ethan Lane for his 3rd consecutive win on the season. We hope to see you next Tuesday night. Thank you for tuning in and have a great night.
Ten weeks. One champion. It all comes down to this. Brace yourself. 350 horses on a rampage. The Outlaw Dirt Series Sportsman Modifieds are coming to Shaggy TV. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Sportsman Modifieds will roar to life across 10 of iRacing's amazing dirt tracks, starting at Lanier and ending at Oswego. You just gotta be there. Cherry Cinematography, specializing in iRacing photography, has deals to suit all your needs. With deals like 5 for 10, 10 for 20, 15 for 30, and 20 for 60, you cannot go wrong. You can reach out to Carson Cherry 226 on Discord. That's CARSON Cherry 226.
You feel the ground shake. Your bones begin to rattle. You hold on for dear life. 280 foot-pounds of torque is coming your way. It's the TFG Sport Compact Series, dropping 168 horsepower with 2 front wheels of squealing. Every night's a beatdown.
The TFG Sport Compact Series is coming back to Right Rear Racing on Friday, December 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Watch it live on YouTube with Right Rear Racing TV as the Jettis clash at historic Nashville Fairgrounds. 2 Fat Guys Sim Racing promotions, where the challenge remains unique.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Boundless makes its presence felt. It will not be ignored. We're helping turn ideas into reality with a wealth of building products that take every architectural style to the next level. This is what it's like to imagine, build, and transform anything we want into exactly what we seek. This is what it means to be boundless.
You have something in your mind, you are able to create it, to build it, and then someone from the other side of the world came and tell you that they want to spread this product to 50 countries in the world, so it's a huge personal.
Welcome to the Underdog Racing Podcast, where we talk to NASCAR drivers from all over the great country of America. Each week, we chat about the latest races, share stories from the track, and get to know the drivers behind the wheel. We break down the action, hear from drivers about their experiences, and dive into what drives them to keep racing. Whether you're a longtime NASCAR fan or just curious about the sport, this is the place for you. So tune in to the Underdog Racing Podcast, your inside look at the world of NASCAR. Catch us every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern.